What kind of gear do I use almost daily? Welcome to Shoot That Video. Hi guys, welcome to this video. A couple of weeks ago I made a video about my desk setup. But because it's almost Black Friday and I'm always interested in good camera deals, I'm also always interested in what kind of gear other people use. That's why today I make a video about the other thing behind me, my gear closet. And especially what kind of gear I use daily, almost daily. Because it's almost Black Friday and maybe people watch this video while it's Black Friday, I will provide any Black Friday deal I can find of the products I'm talking about in the description. So check that description not only for the normal product links but also for the Black Friday deals of the products I'm talking about. Of course, the first thing and the thing most people are the most interested in is my camera. What camera do I use? Right now I'm recording with that camera and as you can see it's a GH4. That's a camera that's not even for sale right now, but you can buy it on eBay or something for around $400 and that's not a lot. It can shoot 1080p at 60 fps, it shoots 4K at 30 fps. I'm quite happy with this camera. Before the GH4 I used a Canon DSLR and the thing I liked about the Canon DSLR is how easy it is to use. And that's why I don't like using Sony. And I didn't have the money for the GH5 at that time, that's why I chose the GH4 because Panasonic is also kind of user friendly. And I also want to make the upgrade to the GH5 so I could get used to the Panasonic ecosystem. I'm using two lenses for the GH4. This one is my bokeh lens. I call it a bokeh lens because it has a very low aperture of 1.4. Am I saying that right? I mean 1.7. But that's why almost everything behind me, even if it's not a very big distance, is kind of out of focus. It's a 25mm lens, but because of the micro four thirds sensor, it's kind of cropped in, but I don't mind that for the stalking shots. The other lens I'm using, and that's kind of a overall lens, is the 14 to 42mm. It's just a basic lens with an aperture 3.5 to 5.6. It's okay. You should always have a lens like this, which is not very special, but you can use it all the time at any time and you can get some nice shots. Also, this lens is optical image stabilized and the other lens I'm shooting with right now isn't. The next in the list is kind of a funny one, but that's my favorite SD card. I have one kind of SD card I use all the time. I will provide the link in the description. So I will grab 3 microphones. The first one is a on-camera microphone. It's kind of a cheap one. It's the Video Micro from Rode. It's around 60 bucks, I think. Most of the time I'm using it only for ambient noise or some unexpected talking. That's because I'm always working with these 2 microphones and that's also what I'm using right now. A very cheap left mic. It's the Boya by M1. It's around 30 bucks or something. That's why I have multiple of them. You can plug it in your camera or your phone, but don't do that because then it's a horrible microphone. But if you put it in an audio recorder, it's kind of good. That's the sound you hear right now, so I think that's okay. As an audio recorder, I have the Zoom H1. It's the old version, it's now called the Zoom H1N. But as a recorder with a XY microphone inbuilt, it does the job very well. That's the audio, so let's talk about tripods. I will put this back and then let's grab this one. The first one is the easy one. It's the Joby GorillaPod. This is the most expensive one, so also the one that's the strongest. It's called the 5K and I have the GorillaPod rig. So I can attach all kinds of other things like lights and microphones. The other tripod I'm using is this one. It's the Vauban VideoMate 438. It's a really small video tripod. And when I say video tripod, I mean it's a tripod with a fluid head. That means you can make really slow and smooth pan and tilts. And it's so small that you can also travel easily with this tripod. I mean, if you compare it to the GorillaPod, it's not that big. Last one is, of course, it's my gimbal. So the camera on the gimbal right now It's my old Canon DSLR I told you about. It's the 600D with a very cheap video microphone on top of it. But this is mostly now decoration and a prop for videos. So if I want to take a B-roll of me shooting with this gimbal, I have to use that camera, so I can have that camera on the gimbal. So that's why this camera is on that gimbal, but I'm not really shooting video anymore with this camera. So, oh, the gimbal, of course. It's the AK2000 from Fujitech. The review together with the product link is in the description. First of all, my favorite small camera light. It's the Aperture ALMX. It's not super cheap. If you want a cheaper aperture light, that's also really good. Then you should check out this one, the Aperture Amaron ALM9. I will put a link of this one also in the description, but this is the one I'm really using almost daily, because you can set the color temperature. It has a really good battery. It's really bright. Yeah, I'm such a fanboy of this light. So the last one is of course the studio lighting I use. And of course I'm using it right now. That's why I will grab my phone to record this big light. It's LED, but it gets really bright. It also needs a lot of power. It's from Falcon Eyes. It's the RX240TDX. So this is a big unit in between where you can set like the brightness, but also like the color temperature. It's like a flexible mat with LEDs. It gets so bright and I really like it. It's most of the time the only lighting I use for a simple talking shot like this. Like I already told you, check the links in the description, not only for the normal product links, but also because it's almost Black Friday, for the best Black Friday deals of the products I talked about. I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this kind of videos, because remember, wherever, however, no excuses, just shoot that video. I see you next week. Bye!